There's a fascinating shift happening right now that nobody wants to talk about, honestly. Women who spent their 20s and 30s saying they don't need men, celebrating their independence, posting "I'm the table" memes, are suddenly hitting 35, 40, 45 and panicking. The dating pool has dried up, the attention has vanished, the options have evaporated, and instead of acknowledging their role in the situation, they're doing what's become predictable, blaming men. Let me break down what's really happening in modern dating and why both sides are frustrated, but only one side is taking accountability. The modern dating confusion affects everyone, but differently. Some women complain men don't approach anymore, while men explain they've been told for years that approaching is harassment. Some women want traditional courtship, while simultaneously rejecting traditional roles. Men want genuine connection, while being told their standards are unrealistic. Everyone's standing around waiting for the other side to make the first move, and nobody's moving. I see this standoff everywhere. Coffee shops, gyms, bookstores, men and women existing in parallel universes. She's thinking, why won't anyone approach me? He's thinking, I'm not risking being called a creep. She's wondering where the confident men went. He's wondering when confidence became toxic masculinity. The result? Nobody connects with anybody. Men's hesitation to approach isn't about lack of interest. It's about risk management. Every approach could go viral as harassment. Every compliment could be taken as objectification. Every attempt at conversation could be screenshot and mocked in a group chat. Men aren't scared of rejection anymore. They're scared of reputation destruction. A client told me he stopped approaching entirely after a woman filmed him asking for her number and posted it online with, "Men need to leave women alone." He was polite, respectful, took the rejection gracefully. Didn't matter. His face was all over social media being called a predator for asking for a phone number at a social event where people go to meet people. The complaints about inconsistent signals from women are universal among men. She makes eye contact, smiles, plays with her hair, universal signs of interest, right? Wrong. Approach her and suddenly you misread everything. She was just being friendly. You're presumptuous. You should have known better. But how? The signal said yes, the response said no. Men describe this pattern constantly. The look that says, "Come over," followed by the reaction that says, "How dare you?" The smile across the bar, followed by the cold shoulder. The flirting online, followed by ghosting in person. It's exhausting trying to decode signals that apparently mean nothing. The rise of distrust between genders has reached critical mass. Some women accuse men of lacking commitment while celebrating their own independence. Some men accuse women of lacking accountability while refusing to communicate their needs. Both sides have valid complaints, but nobody's listening because everyone's too busy defending. The gender expectations clash is creating impossible situations. Many women want a traditional provider husband but reject traditional wife duties. They want a man who pays for everything but call it equality. They want protection and provision but offer independence and feminism. Men see this and think, what's in it for me? I counsel women in their late 30s and 40s, expressing deep dating regret. They prioritize career, travel, finding themselves, all valid choices, but they assumed men would be waiting when they were ready. Now they're successful, established, ready for family, and the men their age are dating women 10 years younger. Suddenly the independence doesn't feel so empowering. One woman, 42, executive position, beautiful apartment, told me through tears, "I have everything I thought I wanted except someone to share it with." She spent 20 years being told she didn't need a man. Turns out she didn't need one, but she wanted one. And now, the ones she wants don't want her. The independent woman backlash is real. Women who spent years saying, "I don't need a man," are now saying, "I want a soft life." They want to be taken care of after years of taking care of themselves. But men who heard, "You're not needed" for a decade don't suddenly feel needed just because minds changed. These women embraced corporate hustle culture, climbing ladders, breaking ceilings, noble goals, but now they're burnt out and want someone else to carry the load. Problem is, the men who could carry that load are looking for partners who never rejected that dynamic in the first place. The client's ex-girlfriend perfectly embodied this. Strong, independent woman throughout her 20s, mocked traditional relationships, said marriage was outdated, hit 34, suddenly wanted a wedding, babies, white picket fence, expected him to seamlessly transition from progressive boyfriend to traditional husband. He left instead, The perception that dating apps damaged courtship is universal. Men feel apps turned dating into a meat market where they're commodities being shopped. Women feel men stopped putting in effort because apps provide endless options. Both are right. Apps didn't create these problems, but they amplified them exponentially. Apps created a paradox of choice. Why work through problems when you can swipe right on someone new? Why approach in person when you can hide behind a screen? Why commit when there might be someone better in the next swipe? The abundance mindset destroyed scarcity value. The hypersexual culture criticism comes from both sides but affects them differently. Some men see women with high partner counts as risky for long-term commitment. Some women see men who care about partner count as insecure. The result? Nobody trusts anybody's intentions. When casual sex became normalized, relationship sex lost its bonding power. When everyone's sleeping with everyone, intimacy means nothing. Some women gave away for free what they now want men to commit for. Some men got used to easy access and lost interest in earning it. The dynamic of wanting attention but rejecting responsibility is everywhere. Some women want to dress provocatively but not be sexualized. They want male attention but only from the right men. They want to be desired but not approached. They want commitment but not compromise. The cognitive dissonance is staggering. I see this constantly. Women posting thirst traps, then complaining about the quality of men in their DMs. You're fishing with bait that attracts sharks, then complaining you're not catching dolphins. The attention you're getting is exactly what you're advertising for. Men's fear of legal and financial risks and commitment is justified by statistics. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Default custody to mothers, lifetime alimony in some states. Men aren't avoiding marriage because they fear commitment. They fear the consequences of commitment ending. A buddy lost his house, half his retirement, and sees his kids 4 days a month. His ex cheated. She initiated divorce. She got everything. He still pays her monthly while she lives with the guy she cheated with. And women wonder why men are hesitant about marriage. Some women accusing men of lacking effort or masculinity don't understand the mixed messages men receive. Be masculine but not toxic. Be emotional but not weak. Be a leader but ask for consent for everything. Be traditional but respect her independence. The rulebook changes daily. Men are told to express feelings, then mocked for having them. Told to be vulnerable, then rejected for showing weakness. Told to communicate, then criticized for what they say. Many men have simply stopped trying to navigate this minefield. Men accusing women of entitlement point to specific behaviors. Expecting expensive dates while offering nothing. Demanding commitment while maintaining backup options. Wanting provision while providing criticism. Seeking traditional benefits while rejecting traditional responsibilities. The entitlement shows in dating profiles, lists of demands with no mention of what they offer, height requirements, income requirements, lifestyle requirements, but ask what they bring. I am enough. Really? Because your demands suggest you don't think men are enough just as they are. Both sides feel undervalued, creating a resentment spiral. Women feel unseen and unchosen, wondering why men won't step up. Men feel used and unappreciated, wondering why they should step up. Each side's withdrawal justifies the other's resentment. The mutual resentment creates a feedback loop. She pulls back because he won't commit. He pulls back because she won't appreciate. She hardens because he won't provide. He hardens because she won't reciprocate. Round and round until everyone's alone and bitter. The influence of online gender communities has polarized everything. Men discovering red pill content, learning about hypergamy, divorce statistics, false accusations. Women in female dating strategy forums, learning to maximize extraction while minimizing investment. Both sides treating relationships like warfare. These communities provide valuable warnings but also create paranoia. Not every woman is trying to trap you. Not every man is trying to use you. But when you're primed to see enemies, everyone looks like a threat. Social media distorting attraction standards affects everyone negatively. Women getting hundreds of likes think they're more attractive than they are. Men seeing Instagram models think that's what they deserve. Everyone's standards are calibrated to fantasy, not reality. The average woman thinks she deserves above-average men because social media inflated her self-perception. The average man thinks he deserves a woman who looks like she's filtered because that's all he sees online. Nobody's happy with normal anymore. Complaints about selective dating standards reveal hypocrisy on both sides. Some women demand 6 feet tall while being overweight. Some men demand virgins while having high body counts. Everyone wants more than they offer. The height requirements particularly irritate men. She's 5 feet 2 inches, demanding 6 feet 2 inches. That's a 4-foot difference. But mention weight, something actually controllable, and you're shallow. The double standard is so obvious it's insulting. The escalation to hostility and mockery shows how broken the conversation has become. Instead of understanding each other, both sides are entrenched, throwing grenades across no man's land. Dating discourse has become gender warfare. Social media is full of women mocking men for being short, broke, or emotional. Men mocking women for being old, used up, or difficult. Everyone's hurt, so everyone's hurting others. The cycle of pain continues. Here's what's really happening with women who hit the wall then blame men. They played the game by rules that favored them temporarily. In their 20s, they had all the power, attention, options, leverage. They could reject freely, demand endlessly, next, instantly. They were told they had all the time in the world. Fertility technology would save them. Men would wait. Their value would remain constant. These were lies, but comfortable lies that justified prioritizing everything except relationships. Now reality has arrived. Fertility drops off a cliff after 35. Men their age want younger women. The attention has shifted to the next generation. The power dynamic has completely reversed, and they're not handling it well. Instead of acknowledging they made choices with consequences, they blame men for not choosing them now. Men are shallow for wanting younger women. Men are immature for not wanting to settle down with them. Men are the problem, not the decade of rejection those men experienced. A 38-year-old woman told me she couldn't understand why men her age date 28-year-olds. I asked her, "When you were 28, were you dating 38-year-olds?" Silence. She dated the hot 28-year-olds. Now, 38-year-old men are doing the same. The only difference is who has the power, the high-value man they all waited for. He has options. Why would he choose a 38-year-old with baggage demands and declining fertility when 25-year-olds are interested? Harsh? Yes. Reality? Also, yes. Some women spent their prime years giving their best to men who wouldn't commit. Their youth, their beauty, their enthusiasm, their flexibility, all given to guys who are never looking for anything serious. Now they want serious, but their best years are behind them. The bitterness this creates is palpable. They're angry at men for having standards, angry at younger women for existing, angry at society for lying to them, angry at everyone except the person who made the choices, themselves. The dating coaches selling high-value woman courses to 40-year-olds are predatory, teaching them to demand more while offering less, convincing them their standards are too low and their market value has crashed. It's cruel to sell false hope. Men aren't innocent in this dynamic, but they're adapting rationally. Why commit to someone who spent their best years rejecting commitment? Why invest in someone who sees you as a retirement plan? Why build with someone who wouldn't build with the shaming tactics deployed against these men are desperate? Real men don't care about age. Mature men want mature women. Only boys want young women. It's manipulation disguised as wisdom, and men see through it. Real men want what they want, and shaming won't change that. Some want youth and beauty. Some want low mileage. Some want traditional values. These preferences aren't immature or shallow. They're honest. More honest than pretending attraction is negotiable. The "where have all the good men gone" articles are comedy gold. The good men are where they always were. They're just not interested in women who rejected them for 20 years. They're dating younger, dating foreign, or not dating at all. Some women hitting the wall are experiencing what men experienced at 20, invisibility. The difference is, men were told to self-improve, make money, develop personality. Women are told society is unfair and men are shallow. One message creates growth, the other creates victims. The foreign women option that many men are exploring terrifies American women. These women often offer femininity, cooperation, appreciation, things that became outdated in Western dating. Men aren't fleeing American women for subservience, they're fleeing for appreciation. The client married a Colombian woman after years of American dating frustration. She cooks with joy, supports his goals, expresses gratitude daily. His American ex called her a mail-order bride. She's actually a lawyer. The jealousy and racism wrapped in feminism is telling. The Passport Bros movement isn't about exploitation. It's about economics. Men are going where their value is recognized, where average men are treated well, where traditional relationship dynamics aren't demonized. It's rational market behavior. 29, 28 young men are watching this dynamic and taking notes. They're seeing women their age on OnlyFans, planning to have fun until 30, then settle down. These men are deciding they won't be anyone's retirement plan. They won't be the safe option after the exciting years. The rise of age gap relationships is a direct response to this dynamic. Older men who've built something pairing with younger women who appreciate it. Some women call it predatory, but it's just preference. The same preference women had when they were young. The grooming accusations thrown at age gap couples are often projection. A 35-year-old man dating a 25-year-old woman isn't grooming. They're both adults. But calling it grooming attempts to shame men out of their preferences through manipulation. Some women who parted through their 20s are panicking in their 30s. The career isn't fulfilling. The casual sex wasn't empowering. The independence isn't comfortable. They won off the ride, but the ride is ended, and they're at the station alone. The egg freezing industry is making billions off this panic. Buy yourself time. But frozen eggs aren't babies. They're possibilities with declining probabilities. Many women will discover too late that technology can't override biology completely. The boss babe to treed wife pipeline is real. Women who spent years climbing corporate ladders suddenly wanting to be stay-at-home moms. But the men who can support that lifestyle want women who always valued it. Not those coming to it from necessity. These women aren't traditional. They're tired. There's a difference between choosing a role from conviction and retreating to it from exhaustion. Men can tell the difference. One is a partner, the other is a parasite. The gaslighting about men's preferences is intense. Men who want younger women are predators. Men who care about body count are insecure. Men who want feminine women are threatened. Every male preference gets pathologized while female preferences are knowing your worth. The dating market is correcting itself harshly. Women who overvalued themselves are getting reality checks. Men who are undervalued are recognizing their worth. The power dynamic that favored young women is shifting to favor established men. Some women are adapting, becoming realistic about what they offer versus what they can get. These women find partners. Others double down on delusion, joining the growing ranks of wine aunts and cat ladies. The choice is theirs. The men being blamed for this situation are the same men who were rejected, mocked, and ignored for years. Now they have options, standards, and self-respect. The fury from some women isn't about injustice, it's about lost power. The men need to step up narrative is particularly rich. Men did step up. They stepped up their standards. They stepped up their expectations. They stepped up their self-respect. Just not in the direction some women wanted. Modern dating is broken because modern expectations are broken. Some women want traditional benefits with modern freedom. Some men want modern benefits with traditional submission. Nobody wants to compromise. Everyone wants to optimize. The solution isn't complicated, but requires honesty nobody wants to hear. Women, your value in the dating market has an expiration date. Use it wisely. Men, your value in the dating market has a building phase. Build wisely. Both. Stop lying to yourselves about market dynamics. The biological reality that everyone pretends doesn't exist still exists. Men can father children at 70. Women's fertility drops drastically after 35. This isn't fair, but it's fact. Building life strategies on wishes instead of reality leads to exactly what we're seeing: regret and resentment. Some women who have it all are discovering they don't. The corner office isn't a companion. The advanced degree isn't a family. The independence isn't warmth. They achieved everything feminism told them to achieve and wonder why they're unhappy. The men these women rejected at 25 remember. They remember being told they weren't tall enough, rich enough, exciting enough. Now those same women, older and with less to offer, want those same men's commitment. The audacity is breathtaking. Dating apps data shows the truth. Women swipe right on 5% of men. Those 5% have unlimited options. The other 95% get crumbs. Then women complain the 5% won't commit while ignoring the 95% who would. It's not a shortage of good men. It's a shortage of men women want who want them back. The good men some women claim don't exist are everywhere. They're the ones working steady jobs, paying bills, staying loyal. They're just invisible to women chasing the top tier. Then when those women need stability, suddenly these men should be grateful for the attention. The "you should be grateful" attitude toward older women dating is telling. Grateful for what? For being someone's last choice, for being settled for getting someone after their best years. Men aren't grateful for leftovers, and that's what's being offered. Some women's dating profiles at 35 plus are lists of demands with expired photos. Must be 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack. Mom, you're offering 3 kids and trust issues. The market doesn't work that way. Supply and demand applies to dating too. The rise of single men choosing peace over partnership is a rational response. Why sign up for criticism, demands, and potential financial ruin? Why compete for women who don't appreciate you? Why invest in relationships that are all cost, no benefit? Men are discovering what women have known. Being single can be awesome. No drama, no demands, no compromise, just peace, prosperity, and purpose. The shock from some women that men are choosing this is hilarious. You taught us we weren't needed. We listened. The projection onto men for women's choices is constant. She prioritized career. Men are intimidated by success. She prioritized fun. Men can't handle experienced women. She prioritized independence. Men are threatened by strong women. It's never about choices having consequences. The intimidated by strong women myth needs to die. Men aren't intimidated. They're uninterested. There's a difference between fear and preference. Most men don't want to compete with their partner. They want to complement them. Some women conflate being difficult with being strong. Being argumentative isn't strength. Being independent isn't personality. Being successful isn't femininity. Men wanting feminine women aren't weak. They're seeking balance. The future of dating looks like further polarization. Some people will adapt to reality, finding partnership through compromise and realistic expectations. Others will double down on delusion, growing older and angrier, blaming everyone but themselves. The women hitting the wall have a choice: accept reality and adapt, or deny reality and suffer. The ones who accept it, who become realistic about their market value, who offer what men actually want, they find partners. The ones who don't become cautionary tales, men being blamed for women's predicament are making rational choices. They're choosing youth over age, cooperation over conflict, appreciation over entitlement. These aren't moral failures, they're preferences. The same preferences women had when they held the cards. The lesson is simple, but brutal. The dating market is a market. Value matters, timing matters, choices matter. And when you spend your high-value years rejecting commitment, don't be surprised when commitment rejects you in your depreciated years. That's not punishment. It's economics. I want to hear from both sides. Women, when did you realize the dating game had changed? When did the attention shift? Men, what made you raise your standards? What made you walk away? Drop your experiences below. Let's have the honest conversation about modern dating that everyone's afraid to have. Because until we acknowledge reality, nothing changes and everyone stays frustrated.